Drop the brace. What's up, guys? Bob here from Fullhousers, and today is my Valiant return. And I'm just kidding. I'm actually just doing my Slayer video that I've been planning to do for quite a while. And I actually had originally planned to do a video when I hit 50 mil, but instead I figured I'd wind up doing one for every 10 mil experience instead of pretty much every 50 mil, which is pretty outrageous. Plus, I also want to free up some income so I can buy my Ascensions back. But I should be back to making videos relatively often. It's mostly going to be PVM based as they usually are. And I have an idea coming up that I believe you guys will enjoy. That I actually kind of tweaked as something that I had previously thought. But without further ado, most Slayer tabs on YouTube show their block tasks, their skip tasks, anything they don't enjoy doing, anything they do enjoy doing, and how exactly they got their tab and everything. So I figured I'd follow along with the guidelines, except that my tab is a little bit different than other people, mainly because I actually do boss tasks, and there's quite a bit of them. There's none that I skip, and I'll mention those later after I get past my blocks and my skips. And yeah, I'll go ahead and show you my skips right now. So, I should say my block tasks. My block tasks are Desert Strikes and Jungle Strikes, and I believe Desert Strikes are technically worth doing because they're probably about 90k Slayer an hour, but I absolutely hate them. I really don't enjoy Ice Strikes either. They used to be incredible money when Crushed Nests and Pure Essence were high, but they're kind of useless now, and Staff of Lights are kind of low. They're not too bad now still, but they're relatively uncommon, so I guess you can't rely on that. The good thing about Strike Worms is they do drop elite clues. I don't do clue scrolls anymore because I just feel like it's a waste of time on EOC. 07, I believe they are actually worth doing because figuring in the conversion rate from 07 to EOC, it would wind up being, even an average clue would be almost 800k EOC, and if it takes like 5 minutes, you're making an unbelievable amount of money. But that's besides the point. The next task, Dust Devils, I believe nobody does these anymore, except for Mike, of course, because he has the Dust Mask, I forget what it's called, actually, that he's trying to make into a helmet. But yeah, they're just so bad anymore. They used to be relatively good because of good Crimsons, and they were pretty AFK, and they were good combat experience, but yeah, they're not nearly as good as they used to be, and I don't believe they're ever going to be worth it unless they tweak either the Slayer experience they give, or give them a really uncommon drop besides D-Chain that's something actually worthwhile. Living Rock Caverns also used to be good. Pre-EOC, they were really good Slayer experience. Nowadays, not so much. I believe if they made Virago a Living Rock creature, it would be pretty cool to see people doing Virago on Slayer task and seeing how much Slayer experience, either if it went by phase or final kill, how much Slayer experience exactly he would give. But I don't know if that's ever gonna happen. Then I also have Spiritual Mages, which, again, used to be good. Not nearly as good anymore, and I don't think anybody do these anymore, and the only real drop they have is Sirenic Scales, and it's not common enough for people to go over there, and it's also not worth enough to make people want to go there. And then Bloodvelds, which, following along with the theme that I had, if this was pre-OC, most people would hate my block list because they're so good, but Bloodvelds used to be incredible. They used to be one of the best tasks for Slayer experience, but nowadays they're kind of crap. I did do them for quite a bit, not for this loot tab, for my other Slayer experience, and I just couldn't take it. I just do not enjoy them whatsoever. But yep, that'll do my block tasks. For my skip tasks, I'd skip Abbey Specs because they're not that common and they're horrible experience now. I skip Warped Tortoises and Warped Terrorbirds, and I also skip what else do I skip? There's one other one that doesn't come to mind right away. But I digress. My boss tasks that I do are Dagonoth Kings for DK, for Dagonoth tasks, and I'll touch more on that later, but I've always enjoyed DKs, and they're actually about 100k Slayer an hour, which isn't too bad. For Avian Seas, I do Armadillo, and it's also about 100k Slayer an hour, so I'm actually not losing that much experience doing those tasks, which is nice, and the loot, especially from DKs, is absolutely worth doing. For Greater Demons, I do Zami, and I did not get a Zami task in 82 tasks, which is how many tasks it took for me to get the Slayer experience you see in the top right. And yeah, I don't really like Greater Demon tasks in the first place anyway, because it's not great Slayer experience, and it takes like 4 hours because the minions don't count. The only minion that does count as a Greater Demon is actually is the melee minion. But for Black Dragons, I do Queen Black Dragon. Horrible Slayer experience, probably about 42k an hour at highest, because I can do 24 kills an hour. But the drops are so worth it. I believe she's almost like 7 mil an hour right now with double experience weekend coming up. So her royal hides and her lance and all those drops are going high. Plus royal crossbow pieces have more of a use now that you can't recharge it at QBD. You just actually have to use crossbow pieces on it. So that's nice as well. And I believe that's it. Oh, actually, cow fights. I only got one cow fight task, and I did half of it, and I'm probably going to cancel it. I did do 35 KK kills with a team of either 5, 4, or 3. I did about probably 10 trios. It was mostly 5-man, and we didn't get any Drygors. And I kind of want to do free up my bank and start bossing in general instead of focusing just on Slayer. So I'm probably going to cancel that task. So if we go to KK, we all have an even shot at getting drops, unless we start coin sharing, which we probably will. My favorite tasks, other than boss tasks, would be Erets are number 1 because their experience is insane. The drops are insane. I bank all the Eret bones because they're like 11.5k each, which is absolutely worth doing. And I've never gotten a Razorback Gauntlet drop, and I believe I'm like 2,000 Erets in total, not on this log. Other than that, I like Water Fiends. They're great. Charms, they're great melee experience, and they're great Slayer experience, so there's no reason not to like them. And then I also like Black Demons because they're great experience, they're fast, Abyssal Demons, and Dark Beasts because they're so relaxing. Also Myth Dragons because they're a short task, and there's a chance to get a default helm, which I still have yet to get, but it doesn't bother me. Now into the part you guys probably came to this video for, which is the drop tab, and I'll go ahead and get to Edgeville from my house. Most of the gear I used was either Zarate Bow for Order of Ascension member tasks. I would just AFK Warriors. I would use Chaotic Staff for stuff like Ice Strikes or Tri-Breeding DKs, and then I would use Drygors for everything else, pretty much. I would also mage Myth Dragons, but okay, this is my Slayer tab right here. And just to start out, I have one Triskelion key piece from 5.9 mil Slayer. Yeah, they're really not that common. Most people get them from Virago, I would say. Or if you do Barrows a lot, you can get quite a bit. I did get 3 Armadillo drops. I got, actually, the Armadillo chestplate and the buckler back-to-back in the same task. And then I got boots, I think 3 Armadillo trips later, which wasn't too bad. Nothing interesting down here. And then 2 G-Malls from, obviously, Gargoyles. These were a rare drop table drop. They're like 2k each, that's pretty nice. Here's my QBD loot, actually. I got 1 D-Kite, 1 Royal Frame, and then 4 Sights. I didn't get any other Royal piece, which is strange. But they're about 500k each, which is nice. 38 D-Stones, also from QBD. Royal Hide from QBD. All these from QBD. Dragon Bone Upgrade Kit, which is like 30k. Onyx Bolt Tips from QBD. Whipvine from Janinko Males. They're like 500k now because the spec bars are coming back. Let's see. All these keys are from Order of Ascension Warriors because they're AFK and relatively good range experience, so that's not too bad. These come from DKs, the spined, skeletal, and also rock shell. Let's see. These are from KK as well as Armadillo. Those are from Armadillo. 972 Water Talismans, also from DKs. Great money right now because of bonus, double experience weekend. I keep calling it bonus experience weekend. 220 Rune Ore from QBD and other stuff. These are from Armadillo. Firewatch. Never gonna do those tasks again, but these are actually like 20k each. So that's not too bad. U-Logs mostly from QBD. Pure Essence from random drops. Most of these hatchets, or actually they're battle axes, they're from Myth Dragons. I do also have hatchets somewhere, they're from DKs. Torstal Seeds from QBD, also mostly from QBD here. These are mostly from QBD. Now here's my DKs drops. I did a 1,116 on task and got 12 rings, 12 hatchets, which is a very even ratio, and not very common for me to get that. I also got a mud battle staff up there, and then 2 circles. I believe circles are 1 in 1,000, and same with mud battle staff, because that's what I've noticed doing about 5,000 DKs so far. And I'll mention more on that later. 3 skeletal bottoms, 69 dwarf seeds. Some of these are from KK. There's so many assorted different things that I got them from. I couldn't really name them all. 3 rock shell plates from DKs, 10k deaths from all the random drops. I'd usually loot all runes because you'll see I have chaos runes for some reason later. 3 dark bows from Dark Beast, 11k myth arrows from Water Fiends, 45 lance seeds, some from KK and such, 1 staff of light. I did like 4 tasks. 170 rune bars. I actually got a rare drop table 50 rune bar drop, which was nice, and then I also got 40 from KK, so that takes up 90 of those. Most of these are from either Armadillo kill count or Arets, because Arets drop them relatively common as well. 200 dwarf weeds. These are mostly from QBD as well. 14 Sirenic scales. I think 90% of those are from Arets as well. These are mostly from Arets, and people don't pick them up for some reason because they don't realize how much they're actually worth. 600 of these are from the rare drop table drop. Arets again. As you see, a lot of the stuff is from Arets because they have such good drops. Myth ore is mostly from DKs. These are from Water Fiends, Water Fiends, Water Fiends. DKs. These are mostly from QBD. DKs, 1,500 Dragon Bones, some from Iron Tasks, some from Steel, some from Myths, and some, of course, from QBD. You get 8 per kill, so that would be why. I believe like 800 of them are from QBD, because I did, I think, 120, so it would be about 960 are from QBD. There's the hatchets I was talking about from DKs. Most of these are from either DKs or QBD. 19 Dragon Daggers, they're the rare drop table drops, so that's pretty cool to see. 1 Arit Seed, I don't know why I kept that. 1,800 Chaos Runes, which are worth like nothing. 37 Chitin, which is from KK. 400 Black D'hide, also from KK. From rare drop table drops actually, and then 15,000 bloods. I actually bought 10,000 to use for my spells, so that's why I have 5,659 pretty much, and then still would have 10,000 left over from what I bought. But yeah, I'll see you guys when I sell this entire tab, which will probably take me about 15 minutes. So I'll start recording when I finish this up. Alright guys, I'm done selling all my stuff, and I'm going to go ahead and collect the last bit I have left in here, which is the boots and the chest plate. I have 4 royal sites selling right now, jeez. And my friend Mike actually, well, Mike on this channel, has been doing QBD lately, and he just leaves his pieces in right now because I believe most people aren't buying at least the pieces because of they're using their money on bonus experience. Double experience weekend again. So I actually just sold a frame not too long ago after about 5 minutes. So we'll see if any of these sites sell as well. So we'll go ahead and collect the last bit of cash that I get from these. And I have another about 1.8 8 mil sitting right there. So the final loot from roughly 6 mil Slayer experience is 211 mil. So let me go ahead and check how much that is per experience right now. It's about 35 GP per experience, which is insane. Mostly, I actually had it at about 37.6 before I started doing KK. If I actually got a split, it would probably shoot up to about 50 almost, which would be nice. But of course, you can't predict anything like that. So I'd assume the way I do Slayer right now, doing KK tasks, I'd say it's probably about 43 GP per experience, which, if you actually did 200 mil, would pretty much only offset the amount that you would need to get 200 mil crafting, which is kind of disappointing. But if I was to do 200 mils, I would be able to afford both of them for cheaper ones. But that's besides the point. I'm not going for 200 mils right now. I'm just going to relax and chill and do what I want. And yeah, what I wanted to mention is I'll most likely be doing a DK series. I don't want to mention exactly what it is yet until I'm a little bit into it and see if I actually want to stick with it or not. So I'd figure I'd let you guys know either in the week ahead or in a later video. So until next time, guys, I'll see you later.